Welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be talking about the movie, The Rings, and I'm just going to tell you my honest opinion about the movie and what I think. So basically, The Rings, I thought it was a cool movie, but I thought it was more like a, kind of like a weird documentary, even though it's like fake and not real, it's like a fiction and everything. Like, I actually really enjoyed the movie, and would I say that the movie lived up to its hype? Yes and no, but maybe if it lived up to its hype. I really did enjoy the movie because like you got to see like the days go past by, but for me, I really thought the days were gonna go like really fast because like you'd be on day 2 or like day 1 and you think it's day 3, it's supposed to be day 3, but it's actually day 1 or day 2. And I really enjoyed finding the backstory of like the monster and why she became the monster and everything. But one thing I never said about her being like the monster is why she needed to like possess people and why she couldn't just do what she needed to do by herself and everything instead of like using a little boy to like be the possession, which like just never made any sense to me. But whatever. And then when you think that one part of the story is done, you find out more of the story. Like for example, when you thought that they would have like helped her and she would have been done, because there's a scene where that like finding out she was like murdered. So basically what happened is that there was like her and the mom and the dad did not want the mom to have a child. She basically got pregnant, they had a kid, and he like lost it. He treated the other girl like awfully, and then he ended up like basically like murdering her and everything. And then she basically made like that thingy and she was like, oh, if you see my tapes and everything, you only have 7 days to live. And that's like basically how the movie is and everything, because there's like a scene in the beginning where it's like these 2 schoolgirls and there's this girl and there's this dude, and the dude is basically, and the girl is basically like they watch the tape and then her friend is like telling her about it, and then they're like talking about it, like, oh, it's just a joke, and then the friend ends up dying, and the boy ends up dying, and then there's another person, and she watches the tape, he watches the tape, they have like a week to live, so they gotta figure out how to take this down, and all that stuff, and so basically, after that, the son ends up like watching the tape, and she's trying to find out. But I thought more would happen to her. Like the most that happened was like the girl's hair was coming out like this and stuff like that, and that's like the most that happened. And then after that, the son watches it. The son like I don't know if the son dies or whatever happens to the son, but like the son like gets like ill and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, her backstory is what kills me because it's kind of like she deserves so much better. She was just a little girl, and it wasn't even her fault. And then this is the scene that literally kills me. The scene where there's like that horse, and she literally is messing with the horse and stuff like that. And she's like, "Oh, horsey, horsey," she's like playing with the horse. The horse gets tired of her, comes out, and then the horse is just running and chasing its own tail. And then after that, the horse ends up jumping into the ocean, and it's been eaten by a shark. Personally, I thought it was a sacrifice, but some people said it was a shark. But you know, if it's a shark, it's a shark. And then after that, they end up like finding about her backstory and everything. The father comes out of nowhere, attacks the girl, and then after that, it's like, oh, my wife is never supposed to have a child, and all that stuff. And then he ends up like killing himself and all that stuff. And it's like, oh, your son's gonna die too, just like me. Because at this point, he's like literally taking something and like killing himself with it. He's like, I think he's like, he's taking like a electronic, and he's like, I don't know, he's basically, you know when people always be like, oh, don't bring electronics into the tub, because he's electrocuting himself with water, not with water, but like he's electrocuting himself, and he's like using water, like he's filling his bathtub with water, and then he's like shooting himself with like a TV or some type of electricity, and he like dies and he like bleeds out and all that stuff. And then after that, there's like my favorite scene of the movie, because I don't know what it is. Like, I think her character is kind of cool. Like, if I seen her in real life, I would be freaked out. I would either like scream, cry, or kick her. or if like we're good friends, then we're good friends. But the best scene in the movie to me is the scene where she literally comes out of the TV and she kills the baby daddy. Like, it is so funny to me, but at the same time, so good to me. And all that stuff, like, that was my favorite scene. Like, nothing other... Okay, there's actually another scene that I did like. The other scene that I actually did like is the scene in where, you have, like, the backstory. And I feel like they do, like, a symbolism of the scene. And the symbolism of the scene is basically, where they compare her child, because I don't even know what the hell happened to her son, and the daughter that they lost, and they use that symbolism because, like, the symbolism part is basically the part of, like, she's holding her child, like, it's not her child, she's holding the ring girl like her child, because they don't really explain what happens to her child. They're not like, oh, the son died or whatever, but I think they're trying to use that symbolism in a way, like her son symbolizes, like, maybe if he's dead, the ring girl, because she's dead. I don't know, I just saw that as symbolism to me, and I thought it was, like, very beautiful, because she held the child like the ring girl, like it was her own, and I was like, that's very beautiful. Anything else I have to say? And then after that, you kind of think by helping her, they would leave them alone, but no, she just ended up coming after everybody and, you know, killing, like, the baby daddy and everything. I forgot what happens to her and everything, and then there's, like, the ending. I forgot the ending, honestly. Everything else is pretty forgettable, to be honest. But I actually did really enjoy the movie. Would I watch it again? Probably not, because it just wasn't for me. But I'm not gonna lie. Did I live up to the hype? Maybe. Did I like it? It was okay. I just feel like the only reason why people even hyped up the movie was because, like, the girl, like, the evil villain, like, the girl with, like, the hair and stuff, like, yeah. That's the only reason why they hyped her character up, was because of, like, her, like, what do you call it, like, the appearance that she took on. That's the only reason why the movie was hyped up back in the day. Like, you could not leave anywhere or go on YouTube without finding videos of that or pranks of that, like people pretending to be the ring girl. Like, you could not. Don't forget to like, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.